right, guys, I've got something real special for you.
Hi.
It's my mom.
Hello.
Are you ready to hear some Hell House stories from the original scared person? I am. I'm excited. Let's go.
Good morning.
Good morning. Morning.
Morning.
What can you tell me about the beginning, early stages of Hell House being built and all that?
The neighborhood it's in, they started building it in the mid to late 50s. They didn't get to the Hell House end of it until the early 60s. They started Hell House in 64, I believe. Wasn't completed until 66. The original owners bought it before it was done, but they'd seen floor plans, and I don't remember what they called it, but they had a model of the house because most of the houses are very similar, so they knew what they were getting, but it wasn't ready for them until 1966. And they moved in. I don't know why they moved out 2 whole years later after buying a house.
Yeah.
Most people don't buy a house and then move out 2 years later. That's weird.
Yeah.
But I'm not them. It's not my problem. My problem began in 1968 when my parents bought this house.
That's the name of the series.
I was 4. They moved us into it on December 9th, 1968. Our very first night there, we had 0 electricity because sometimes the electric company be that way.
Mm.
So it's December, it's cold, it's snowing. We're camped out in the living room. You know, my mom and dad with the baby Angie in the middle. Oh, so sweet. And it's snowing, and it's wonderful. And we did have the gas on, so my mom was able to get the stove to light because she's super smart. So she made food. We had a nice hot meal. We had a cooler in the front yard. It was aluminum, and I liked to knock on it because it made funny noises. So we had milk and things like that. And we ate our dinner, and then we all snuggled down into sleeping bags and pallets and blankets and pillows. And we went to sleep. We woke up around 1:15 in the morning, and I'm sure you'll learn that that was an interesting time in Hell House.
Mm-hmm.
With the front door wide open, snow blowing in, cold blowing in, we all freezing. So my dad went out and started his pickup truck and put Mom and me in it to get warmed up while he cleaned out the snow, sealed up the house, and then he brought us back in. We went back to bed. No more events for a while. But that is our beginnings of Hell House. Our very first night there, front door wide open, snow tried to kill us.
Nice.
And that's, you know, I was 4, so of course it was terrifying because nobody came in, but it definitely felt like somebody kicked in the door and blew in the snow.
Santa doesn't do that.
No, and it was too soon for Santa.
Yeah.
We didn't even have a tree up yet because we just moved, like that day.
Yeah.
But that is how Hell House introduced itself to us.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Ben, you never lived in Hell House. I cannot interview you. I'm sorry. Stop bumping my legs.
You didn't come up here and sit with Grandma.
Yeah, go
and
sit.
Just inadvertently get in.
Yeah, go sit with her.
Stephen, come here. Come here. I've got a big ass lap. The reason my father built just inside the door of Hell House a small room divider that makes no sense unless you've lived in the house. He built it because after that first night and the door blew open, that became a regular occurrence. It's just the door coming open. We would check it, recheck it, change the lock, whole 9 yards, open door the next morning. He got sick of it, so he built this room divider, and then he slept in front of the door. Now the room divider only gave you enough room to open or close the door. So with his head up against the door, in order to open it, the door would have to hit him in the head. He can't roll out of the way or he'd hit the room divider. If you go the other way, he's going to hit the wall. My dad's not a small man. He's not a fat man. But he definitely a large human being, like normal-ass person size, nowhere to go. So he started sleeping in the living room floor. And this is after we've moved the furniture, the beds, and everything in. He built this room divider, started sleeping in front of the door, thinking he would catch whoever is opening the door. Catch. Because in his brain, of course, it's a person. Okay. But he did one night, and he woke up, and the door's wide open, and he didn't move. He hadn't rolled out of the way. He hadn't gotten up and then come back and the door's open. He just woke up and the door's open, which means it had to either go through him or something supernatural had to have occurred to get the door on the other side of him to be wide open. But there it is. He wakes up with the sunrise, door's wide open. He actually screamed like a little girl. Don't tell him I said that or I'll be in trouble.
Not a word.
But it woke up me, it woke up my mom. My little sister wasn't here yet, but it really freaked him out. So, of course, he changed the lock again. I don't understand the logic of changing the lock because ghosts don't give a crap about locks.
Not there, no.
But that's why there's a room divider there that makes no sense.
Yeah, and if you look at the videos of the Hell House pictures, you'll see that room divider. I didn't know that Papa built that. That's amazing. He built that to catch a ghost.
He built that to stop a ghost. Well, he built it to stop whoever was breaking into his house.
Right, but that room divider exists because that house is haunted.
Yes.
That's amazing.
That's why that room divider exists, is because that house is haunted. It opened when we moved back in, me as an adult, with my then husband and our 2 children, whom you know. That door still did that. My big sister and her husband, my big sister having not grown up in this house, she grew up with her mom. She and her husband and their 2 children came to stay with us at Hell House. And Brady and I gave them our bedroom because that's the polite thing to do. We slept on the hide-a-bed in the living room. But after a couple of nights, my sister was like, I want you to at least sleep in your bed one night. We'll take the hide-a-bed. I know your body hurts and blah, 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 because she's a very sweet, caring person. So eventually I gave in, and Brady and I slept in our room that night. She and Rodney slept in their room, or slept in the living room. I get up the next morning, and Rodney's just sitting on the edge of the hide-a-bed in the living room, staring at the front door. Like, what's up, Rodney? He's like, woke up to that door open. Check the kids, they're all here. Yeah, it does that. I told you it does that. I didn't believe you. I'm like, I know, no one does. But it does that. It did that the last 6 months that we lived there. It did that.
Yeah.
And I quit questioning it. I just shut the door.
Yeah, that's really all you can do.
By the time I was 11, 12 years old, I didn't even tell my parents anymore. If I saw it, I just shut the door.
All right, the next story. The new air conditioner.
The new air conditioner. Okay, we bought the house in 68. The summer of 69, my papa, my dad, he wanted to put an air conditioner unit in. Now, central air at that time was only for really big places like department stores. I mean, the elementary school I was going to go to didn't even have air conditioning yet. It wasn't a huge thing.
We didn't have central air in my elementary school either, so yeah, I believe you.
Right, but they did eventually, but that's a different story.
Yeah.
My dad wanted to get what then was the new big thing, a window unit. But in our living room, there wasn't a window big enough for a window unit that would make a difference. And my dad's pretty crafty. He cut a hole in the living room wall, which then put the back side of the air conditioner into the garage. And he had a 5-gallon bucket to catch the condensation, and he built the rack to hold it up and all of that. Made it look really nice in the living room. So we had a window unit, but it was in the living room wall, so it would blow cold, directed straight at the living room and down the hallway to get to the other bedrooms. Well, we also had a furnace because everybody had furnaces back then, but it's not a central air furnace. So Papa got the air conditioner put in, we plugged it in, it works great. The furnace has been off for a while because we're in late June, early July, and my mom usually turned the furnace off in April, simply to save on the heating bill. So the furnace is turned off. And my Aunt Dodie is staying with me. I'm just turned 5 years old. So my Aunt Dodie, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. My Aunt Dodie is 12. And she's staying the summer with us, and we're excited because it's actually comfortable in our house and we're not dripping buckets of sweat. This is a new experience for me. So that it's bedtime, and we're like, okay, go to bed. We all go to bed. We wake up at about 4 in the morning with the bedrooms sweltering hot. Furnace blowing like crazy. The living room is ice cold. There's a war between the air conditioner unit and the furnace that was turned off. Front door's open. We can't get the furnace to turn off because on the switch, it's already off. We turn the air conditioner off, the air conditioner doesn't go off. My dad has to go in the garage, unplug the air conditioner, go in the basement, turn off the breaker for the furnace. And that's when everything finally turned off. Hell House has a long history of electronic devices such as radios, televisions, lights, things like that, not cooperating.
Yes.
Not paying attention to the on-off switches or the volume switches. Batteries mean nothing. I had a little transistor radio that lived in one of my drawers when I wasn't using it. And one day, my dad's home. Grandma's off doing grandma things. My little sister and I are both at school. And my dad hears blaring music coming from one of the bedrooms. He tracks it down to my bedroom. It's my transistor radio. He can't get it to turn off, so he naturally pulls the batteries, sets everything back where I had it, goes about his business. Next thing you know, music's blaring again. He goes back to that room. Radio's blaring in my drawer. Batteries still sitting on the dresser. No batteries in it. And y'all are afraid of Furbies. Yeah, electronics turning themselves off and on had very little to do with whether or not we wanted them off or on.
That was Radio Ghost.
It was Radio Ghost.
He's my buddy.
I know.